Well, we've come to the end of our questions. Thank you all for your thoughtful answers. Thank you, audience, for your thoughtful questions. And we are going to have closing statements, and we will start with Karen and go this way. 2 minutes.
Well, first, I'd like to thank everybody for still being here, and to our hosts, the NAACP and the League of Women Voters, and the PTA Council for hosting this great discussion about important issues in our town. I'd like to share a few more things about my background, just to say that I have spent my whole life committed to this town, and it's evidenced by both the work and the public service that I have done over the course of my life here, in my career working in nonprofit. I worked in our public housing communities and low-income neighborhoods, and served on the town's public housing advisory board and chaired that board to advocate for more progressive policies and treatment of residents of public housing. I've chaired the Ephesus School Improvement Team and Porch Neighborhood Coordinator, so I've been very involved in our community for many, many years. And I also just want to share sort of an embarrassing story about myself that if you were at the last forum, you've already heard this, but since I've voted, I started voting when I was 18. I was very, very excited to vote, and I still am, even now as an older adult. And every time I go to vote, I tear up, and because it's such a privilege and an opportunity to participate in our democratic process. And the first time I got to bring my kids with me to help me vote was just one of the best moments. And I will bring that sense of deep responsibility and kind of awe of our process to serving on the council as your next town council member. So thank you for your support.
Oh, this way. Oh, I thought you were just giving out. Don't sing the moderator. First lesson of campaign. I am Rachel Shavitz. I'm running for a seat on your town council. I'm thrilled to have been here tonight. I love seeing the turnout. I love seeing folks engaged in their democratic process, and I'm thrilled that you did stick through to the very end. Thank you for that. To let you know a little bit more about me, we talked a lot about where I stand on different issues, but who am I as a human? I'm a mom. I have a 3-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. My daughter is at FPG in the dual language program. It's one of the most amazing things about our town is that we've got this incredible school system, but we've also got this commitment to the global world that our kids are going to grow up and go out into. My role at UNC, I teach film. And this semester, I've paired my film students up with a lot of Chapel Hill nonprofits that you'll recognize, like Kidzu and Community Empowerment Fund and Table. And the students are going to make videos for the Chapel Hill nonprofits. That's their whole assignment, and help those nonprofits expand the great work that they're already doing in our town. And I'm sharing this with you with my precious 2 minutes because I think it illustrates how I approach issues and challenges. This is a creative, practical, collaborative solution to multiple problems. Our nonprofits don't have a marketing budget. They need to raise money. They need to build awareness. This helps them out. Our students no longer have a film industry here in North Carolina where they can get professional experience. They are not competitive on the job market. They need help. This is a win-win, collaborative, creative, practical solution that gets at both of those issues. This is what I'm about. This is the spirit I would bring with me to town council. Serving on our American Legion Task Force, I try really hard to hear all of the voices at the table, but then also encourage people. If I'm hearing that one side of the room is talking a lot and loudly, I ask specifically for the feedback from these other people. In any given public situation, I'm going to ask people to come and chat with me after so that I can get the wide range of opinions that's going to help us build that creative, practical, collaborative solutions that we need for our town. Thank you so much.
They clap for Rachel, they got to clap for all of us. Come on, it's our last. Okay. Sorry. Just. Sorry. Okay. So that fabulous dual language program Rachel's kid is enjoying. I spent my Christmas break in 1994 writing that grant proposal with Dr. Kubota at UNC and Joe Harris at Chapel Hill Harbor Schools to get funding so that my children could remain bilingual and other children who didn't have the privilege of having a Spanish-speaking parent could become world citizens. Because I learned one thing, great ideas don't work unless you do. You work really, really hard to push people, to pester people, to get the money to do them, to convince them that it's the right thing, and then you bring people along. So that's what I want to continue to do for the next 4 years, to get all the great ideas in the community and implement them. I've also come to realize I'm only one vote. There are 8 council members, and I don't have power to make anything happen without staying rooted in the community and having the community come and voice their support. My ideas don't count if the community is not behind them, and they're going to show up and get the other council members to come along. And also, unless I form alliances and support the great work that the other people are doing and say, okay, I realize you don't bike, but Ed bikes, and Ed and I really want this, and we're going to work with you to make it happen. Can you help us? So I've learned that how politics works, and politics is how we distribute resources. It's not a bad word. It's just you need to learn how to be an effective politician that truly represents the community and that truly works to implement the best ideas, and that's what I hope to continue to do for Chapel Hill. Thank you. Please vote for Maria Palmer for another 4 years on town council.
Well, true to my style as an office holder, I am happy to hear from people who disagree with me. So whoever asked about civilian review boards, I'll be glad to explain my answer. Please come here and talk with me. I'm Ed Harrison again. I've been an ecologist and environmental planner for 40 years now. Started out in my teens, of course. And it's informed everything I think about, including all the other stuff I think about, like how to put developments on land, affordable housing, how to make transportation projects work that should work and stop the ones that don't, because I've worked against projects in my life and against major legislation. So I'm going to take 30 seconds on 15501. I am the transportation walk, according to a newspaper many years ago. 15501 is not a 30-second answer or a 60-second answer. It's about a 2-hour debate. And the solutions that are out there for 15501 are ones that you probably already don't like, but you wouldn't like the other answers either. And I know all those and happy to talk to you about them. And I hope to keep working on them, whether on council or not. I'll be working with 15501 as I have been for 30 years for the rest of my life. And every other road in Chapel Hill that matters too. The state owns most important roads in Chapel Hill, and that's our big problem. And as a council member, I've said before, and thanked in a thankless job for being a responsive council member, answering phone calls and emails, reaching out to people who don't know who you can reach out to. I really hope to continue that. I really enjoy doing that so much. I love it. And I love talking to people about Chapel Hill, which is the best town in the state.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for coming to the forum. I know that it's a commitment from you that trying to be informed and be part of this town's political system. I know that it is, for some of you, probably that's the first time to come over here. I think that's a great step because in Chapel Hill, we believe in inclusivity. we want to include everyone to be here. And personally for me, of course, that I have never imagined that I could be a politician. So it is just amazing. I have talked to many people about my experience of running for this campaign, and I'm just easily getting emotional just for talking about that. But I'm just, Chapel Hill is just such a great place. I just feel so fortunate to be able to be here, and so that I will have the opportunity that to share my ideas and thoughts about this community and how to help everyone. So that's something that I'm committed to do, and I consider it's a huge privilege. And I love Chapel Hill, and I hope that you will consider me as a part of the town council. For me, so my experience in working with the children with autism and developmental delays, it also helped me to realize that every life is precious and everyone deserves an opportunity. So from my years staying in Chapel Hill, I have always been the ones that trying to bring different communities together and organizing activities, working with the town and the nonprofit and profit organizations and people from different communities, and that's something that I'm going to continue committed to do. And I think we talk a lot about those topics, but I think the central theme of that is that we want everyone, we want this town, everyone in this town to have an opportunity to succeed. We want them to not only living here, but also thriving and contributing to this town, so that they're working together to build this the best place to live. Thanks.
Well, I first off want to thank PTA Council, Chapel Hill, Carver, Gresham, NAACP, and the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum. I thank you all for sticking it out tonight. I just want to leave you all with, with this. I really want to engage our young people. I'm glad to see you got a young person here up front in high school. But it's so important, especially I think at the local level, that we engage our young folks to get good civic habits, to get involved in public comment, to come to public comment for town council, for town commissions, and even apply for some if they're so interested. I think it's so important on a lot of different levels, but especially, last year when I was Josh Stein's policy and field director, one of the most disappointing things for me seeing was that a little less than half of the registered voters between ages 18 and 25 did not vote. And, we simply can't afford that, going forward, especially in 2018 with some critical elections coming up. So I think town council is a wonderful opportunity for young folks to get involved. In a lot of ways, it's the most responsive part of government that we have today, given what's going on at the federal level, what's going on at the state level. And then I also want to leave you with this. I'm someone that a lot of folks have said that, is trustworthy, someone who's reliable. I'll even put in a cheap plug. When I was in high school, I was voted most dependable senior. But all that is to say that I take the role of town council very seriously. It's important that town council be informed when making decisions. It's important that they maintain open doors to all citizens from a broad spectrum. And that's something that I'm really most looking forward to. I'm looking forward to being an open door and being a voice for those that have been adversely impacted.